Sword Art Online is an anime that pretty much everyone in the anime community agrees is on the absolute garbage tier level. At least that's the major consensus on the anime community. I personally haven't seen the anime, at least in full, but it's an isekai anime that is not Konosuba, so that already makes it to be a contender for the garbage bin. But it is one of the most popular animes in that genre, one made for the absolute lowest common denominator audiences. You can say that it's the Fortnite of anime. But regardless of what people think about Sword Art Online, what if I tell you that Sword Art Online is gonna strive for more gender equality? Not the Konosuba kind of gender equality, which is actually true gender equality, but the completely distorted Western kind of gender equality. Sword Art Online's author, Reiki Kawahara, says female characters should not be treated as trophies. Oh god, here we go again. Now before we go on even further, I should talk about a controversy that I haven't talked about in my channel, or even in my streams if I recall correctly. There was a rape scene from the anime that got completely edited for the Western release. It happened at early December last year, and the scene was indeed quite problematic. I mean, my god, the characters' bare skins are licked by a rapist of the day. How horrible, how outrageous. Truly something that the Western progressive audiences are not prepared to witness. And now we arrive to this day in 2019, where the author straight up said that he should write stories with political correctness in mind, probably due to the feedback that he got on that truly horrifying and traumatic scene. This is one of those times where I'm in a dilemma. A lowest common denominator anime is trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator audiences, and now they're trying to do it even more by saying that they should be more politically correct. Is this the part where I say, oh, how the mighty have fallen? Sword Art Online used to be so good until this political correctness BS pop up. But the question is, how are you going to make something like Sword Art Online to be politically correct? According to the author Kawahara, he said that the gender-neutral words like protagonist and antagonist are used overseas instead of the gendered words hero and heroine. The point is, stories out there use gender-neutral terms, which means that gender doesn't really matter at all in the story, right? Actually, yes it does. I mean, let's be honest here. There are so many things around the world that would react differently depending on what genitals you have. In some ways, a character's gender could play a major role in the story, but that's not always the case, of course. And one of the things that the Sword Art Online author talked about is treating female characters as trophies and how absolutely wrong that is. I really do want to know what you mean that's treating female characters as trophies. It implies that whatever actions that men do are not worthy of any sorts of feminine rewards. What if those feminine characters want to give these men rewards of their hard work using their femininity? And yes, I did say feminine. Trappy, suck my dicky. I don't really want to question too much on the logic of Western gender politics because there's none. Now, this statement was taken from an interview at Dengeki Online and translated by Anime News Network, so I expect there would be some bias on the translations. During the interview, there was a discussion about how the word heroine is used in Japan. Kawahara said that one thing he admires about Yuri manga is that both characters take on the role of the protagonist and motivate each other. Congratulations for figuring out how a romance story works. I can see why people say that your anime has good writing. Although he has been trying to give his female characters more agency, implying that they didn't have one, Kawahara emphasized that he would not be downplaying Kirito's presence in the story. He just wants to include more parts in which the female characters live their own lives separately from Kirito, implying that the female characters throughout Sword Art Online have been living through their lives being heavily dependent on Kirito, implying that they wouldn't have any sorts of agency without Kirito. Oh god, I'm questioning Western gender politics again. Sorry, I don't want to get to the headache. It's Sword Art Online anyway. Weirdly, the manga artist of Bloom Into You, Neo Nakatani, said that the female characters already display a lot of agency and that there wouldn't be a problem with them as long as the damsel in distress parts were removed. But Kawahara insisted that when he first started writing Sword Art Online, he had not been keeping such issues in mind, which makes the girls around Kirito increasing without thought about what role they would play. This is what happens when you read way too much harem. You just put female characters in as lazy fan service instead of actual characters. This is a very funny news. What this article should have conveyed to me is the message that Sword Art Online will be garbage through political correctness, but reading through it, I have the impression that Sword Art Online already is garbage, and it's going to be even more garbage later on, and thanks to the writer conforming into the whims of the loud minority. The author also talked about how he doesn't want to use sexual assault as a plot device in his writing anymore, implying that you have used sexual assault as a plot device in your writing before. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't trust the writer of Sword Art Online to deal with topics as heavy as rape. Goblin Slayer did it, and it handled that topic surprisingly well, but Sword Art Online is not Goblin Slayer. Sword Art Online is a franchise too long, worthy of a rapist licking your knees.